everybody. How we doing today? Let's see who we've got in the mix. Enigmatic Onion. So good to see you. Powell K2. Felix. What up? Simple Sam. What would we do without you? How's everyone doing today? It's we find ourselves at another Monday. But it's always the best Monday because I get to see you guys. Thanks for coming by. We're going to talk about one of my fave things in Ableton, which is chain selectors today, and building sort of like super cool instrument rack that you can do all sorts of things with. So if you've got Ableton open, follow along because it's cool. Let me know if you've got some fave samples you're working with right now. Oh, no sound. Okay. Now you have sound. I know, I feel you. I feel you very much. What's everyone doing for Thanksgiving? Enigmatic Onion. I have no real plans at all. Can someone invite me to their place for Thanksgiving dinner? That would be awesome. All right, well, let's dive in, and then we'll come back here. So I was showing you guys a few weeks ago how to set up Ableton playback, and we did it for like 3 songs. And so I wanted to show you with just one of those songs today how you could go even further with it. Once you have all your backing tracks in, which are down here, how you could use Instrument Rack and the chain selector within Instrument Rack to start building what you might actually play on stage and building in some automated effects, some automated sounds. I am very, very fond of this tool and use it in, for sure, like every live show I ever play. So this is the example of Don't Start Now. So I'll just play you these tracks.
Good already, some of done is scary. I'm not where you left me at all.
So those piano and string parts are super prominent. So that's something like if I was putting this together with a band to play on stage, I would definitely want to have that part represented. So I have the MIDI for some of these parts and the instruments up here. And then this vocal choppy section. And then this like muted palm section. Simple Sam, it's not Thanksgiving today. I wish. It's next week. I just feel like this is the time everyone's like talking about the holidays, and I'm like, I literally have no plans. Well, I'll be with my husband. It'll be our first holidays together, which honestly, I'm totally fine just hanging out with him. But we have no real family, like, we're in between Austin and New York, and we have family like in England and Mexico and Seattle, but it's all sort of far. So maybe we can have like a Twitch Thanksgiving. So anyways, what I want to show you guys, how many of you guys, just let me know in the chat, how many of you guys are familiar with Chain Selector? What I want to show you is in a live situation, how you could just have one instrument that automates all of these changes. So first you have keys, then you have keys and vocal chop, then you just have the palm mute, and then at the end, you could step away from the keyboard and dance with the crowd and just have it playing on its own. So before we do this one, let's just do a really simple one with a Chain Selector from scratch. Gotta get some water. I still got this water bottle that lights up when it thinks I haven't drank enough water. Very good. Okay. And the reason it does that is because it's connected to my phone, which is weird. So there's probably like data you can find on how little water I drink in my life. A lot of tea, a lot of coffee, a lot of wine, not a lot of water. Okay. So I'm going to make a new MIDI track, Command-Shift-T. And I'm going to name it just Instrument Rack for now. Let's give it a nice color. Okay. So there's a couple different ways you can make an instrument rack. You can just drag in an instrument rack, or you can do it the way I'm about to show you, which is the way I usually do it, where you get a sound. Let's see. Drag this sound in, and now I'm going to do Command G and make a group. So here's my group now. And I'm going to Command R and name this bass rack. All right, for this purpose, I'm going to try to find some that sound pretty different so we can, okay, do this one. So I'm just dragging them right under. And then if I click on them and don't have hide pressed, I can see the instruments show up over here. So there's my analog bass. There's my 101 live bass, and let's get one more. This one. Okay, sweet. So this is already cool because we have everything contained in this one rack. And we can really easily like move this around different projects, just use one MIDI keyboard to control the whole thing. I'm just reading comments. Virtual Thanksgiving, virtual turkey, martini is Powell K2. Me and you are the same. From water can one corrode? Yes, exactly. Okay, so let me start over here. So this is where it is on the keyboard. So if I was to, hang on, plug this in. So if I was to play this on my MIDI keyboard and arm the track, it's going to play all those sounds together, which is cool for sound design. It's kind of like the zones tab in Sampler. But for right now, I want to show you more how you could use this like in a performance setting to switch between sounds. So I'm going to go back to the chain, and I'm going to move these into different spots. So some people do like 0, 1, 2. I'm going to do it this way just because we're only using 3. So I'm going to drag drag these all to 8, or drag 1 to 8, and then I'm going to say split. Let me show you that again. It's kind of a nice trick. So you're here, then drag this to 8, and then say distribute ranges equally, and then it does it for you. So this one is 0 to 2. This is 3 to 5, and this is 6 to 8. So they could just be 0, 1, and 2, but I'm just gonna, we have all the way up to 127, so I'm gonna do that for now. Okay, sweet. So now, if I go back, or actually, let me just show you right here. If I just move this, now I move it here, you can see here that it is right here, that it's lighting up that one. And then if I go here, it's going to light up the big growl bass. Well, this one sounds kind of similar. Not exactly, but kind of. Okay, so that's how I get around those 3 different instruments. But probably you don't, if you're playing live, you don't want to be like up on your computer moving that little cursor. So, no problem. We can go to our macros and we can automate this, which is great. So actually, let's go back to the chain and let me get some of this up here. So here's my macros, and I'm gonna go to map, which can be, you just have to sometimes scroll over to the right there. And I'm gonna right click on this little cursor guy and I'm gonna say map to macro 1. And now, click off of map. And now as I move these, as I move this knob, you can see this move. And as you can guess, I can probably map this to, whoa, we lost Ableton. I can map this to a knob on my keyboard. So I just have an MPK up here. So I'm going to map this. I'm going to go into MIDI map. Click on here. I'm going to wiggle a knob. There we go. And now I can just move this knob and get really easily between these. Okay. Hey, Max. Hey, guys, guess what? Me and Max have a day drinking date on Friday. Let us know in the chat what we should be drinking. The thing is, it's going to be like 1 for me, and it's going to be like 6 for him. So it's not that fair, because like he can just start like going crazy. But I think I'll give you a run for your money, Max. Okay, cool. So now I have these mapped, or I have my selector mapped. Let's also look at the on-off buttons. So this isn't the biggest deal if you're like using all native instruments, like native Ableton instruments. But if you start getting, like, I know I was just listening to an Anomaly, if anyone knows Anomaly, live breakdown, and I think he has 127 instances of Omnisphere in his session. And the only reason that is able to work with CPU is that everyone is automated to turn off when the other one turns on. So this is just a good practice if you're playing live. Like, if you don't need everything to be on at the same time, then automate it so that it's only on when you're using it. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to go over here And I'm going to right click here and say map to chain selector. And I'm going to do that with the others. For some reason, the map to siblings is not showing up. Does anyone know why that's happening? Does anyone use map to siblings? Okay, so now we're not quite done yet, because if we go here, they're all off now. So we have to now go to map, and we want to actually match these with the value in the chain. So let's take a look at the chain again. So this is 0 to 2, this is 3 to 5, this is 6 to 8. And you could have done 0 to 0, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, like whatever works for you. I just like having bigger numbers. So 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8. Let me go back to map. So I'm going to change this to 0 to 2. Oop, 0 to 2. This to 3 to 5. This to 6 to 8. So now I'm saying, like, turn that on when I'm using it. Maybe, no, I've definitely used it in, I'm Simple Sam, I'm looking. Yeah, I've used it in this. I wonder if Max knows, like, why am I not seeing map to siblings on the on-off switch? It's very cute how you can map to siblings. How it does that is it's like, I like it because I have a twin sister and I just think it's like cute. But like if you map the reverb on one instrument, if all the other instruments have reverb, you can do map to siblings, so you don't have like 3 different reverb knobs, because like as you move between instruments, it's way easier if you just have one knob to map. Anyways, okay, so let's make sure this worked. So, all right, so here is, so it's the only thing about it is it's a little like, it's just like, it's a light gray and a dark gray. I think it should go from like red to green, but you can see now I'm moving it, and over here you can see I'm moving chain selector, and it's on. And then once I get out of the threshold or like the parameter for that, it turns off. Then analog bass is on. Well, now it's on. And now bit growl bass is on. So cool, it worked. So now that's really nice because I will save lots of CPU. I know Max does know all. I don't think Max is really listening. Max, don't just put me on in the background. Don't just mute me in the background in the middle of your other Zoom call. It's fine. I love you, Max. Hey, Mark Morgan, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay, sweet. So how are we feeling about chain selector so far? Did you guys already know about this, or does it feel confusing? Should we do it again? It's pretty cool. Dun. Another thing that's cool with this is you can map, like if you have a hardware instrument, so I like to use a Juno and a Prophet, and you can map the MIDI CC messages, so you change your patches. I hate having to remember to change patches live, and that's the type of thing that I don't think people really care that much. Like, it's cool if you're using a push and like playing a really prominent melody or like making a drum beat, but if you're just like remembering to push a tiny button at the top of your keyboard, like I don't think anyone notices. It takes like brain power. So nice to just like automate it. Oh, have we got some responses? Isn't it at the top as copy values to siblings? Okay, let me see. Who said that? Oh, Simple Sam. Simple Sam. Mark Morgan. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go over it again with this other thing. So, yeah, this is cool. Thank you. It's actually a green screen, but I think this would make good wallpaper though. Just like Ableton wallpaper. Does anyone already have that? Okay. So let me see Simple Sam. If I can find what you are talking about. So Simple Sam, let me know if you're looking here because I don't see it in here. We'll figure it out. It's weird because I've definitely seen it there before. So, yes, let me know if you have an answer. Okay, cool. But let's keep going. So, now you can also go in and map more parameters. And then you can also automate all of this. So let's map the frequency is a good one to do. So let me get back here. Let's do. Oh, okay, I'm on the wrong one. I was like, why is this not changing anything? Okay, let's do the filter cutoff. So I'm going to right click and map to macro 2. And let's name, or it already is named. I like a good old nice color coding. We'll make this pink. Filter cutoff. Make it salmon colored. It was under show automation when you looked. Yeah, I know. It's just like disappeared. We're going to figure this out though. And now it's not showing up here either. Okay. Well, anyways, to be answered next week. I will figure this out. Yeah, wait, maybe when I meet up with Max, I'll have him see if he can figure it out too. Okay, so I'm going to MIDI map this to another knob on my MPK. And now I have this nice very expressive instrument. And then I can, of course, go through and do this on my other, whatever other parameters I want to automate. Another cool thing we can do is map some additional effects. So let's say I'm going to try to stick with native plugins for VST, or not VST purposes, for CPU purposes. So I'm going to drop delay and reverb on. Okay, so that's cool. So what if I know I want to always be using delay and reverb at the exact same time? Then what I can do is map these both to macro 3. So, and I'll name this delay and reverb by doing Command R. And I like to do blue for delay and reverb because it's wet. It's the color of water. Okay, so now I'm going to map this again to another knob. And so now I can go. Okay, so that's cool. So then in this way we can easily have everything at our fingertips. But if you want to have even less to worry about, also if you are playing, like if you're an artist and you're hiring people to play with you, you're getting people to play for you, and maybe they don't know the music as well as you do, it's nice to automate, like just give them less to have to think about. So if I go up here, or go here, so now I can automate chain selector. So what I'm going to first do is automate my sounds. So I'll start with, let's just go up to the chorus for now. So let's start with 0. So that'll be the first instrument. Then we'll go to 3. That will be the second instrument. And then, why is that doing that? It's overriding that. Okay, and then we'll go up to the next instrument. I could just type it in. I get really like competitive with myself about getting that sound right. Okay, so now oh wait, why did this one not work? Because I think I didn't map it. It needs to go all the way up to 6. It should be working though. Okay, there we go. So now if I like put the grid on, you'll see it just changes as it goes. So now we're getting to the pre-chorus. Got overridden. Whoops. Let's redo that. Now why is that? Hang on, there's something else that's messing this up, because I'm going to take this MIDI mapping off. 1 second. Maybe you must click show. Yeah, I mapped, I've just gotten this thing all confused with itself. So I'm going to take this off. I don't want this. I think I had like accidentally already mapped something. Except, why is that? Okay, so it's okay. There we go. Cool. So then what you might want to do is map, what I was sort of getting to is once you've mapped the sounds, then you could map the delay reverb as well to happen like while you're doing it live. So now I'm going to go to my delay reverb, which is my macro 3. Actually, let me just click it so I don't have to find it. And let's say like at the end of the chorus, you wanted that to go way up. You could bring it up like this, and then it would just play automatically in the show. And oh, wrong thing. There we go. So that's kind of cool. I really think this is just can make your show sound so much more like polished, high quality, and you can always become more acoustic from this. But if you set it up this way, then you can always have it sound pretty close to whatever the record is, but still play it live. Imagine that. Okay, cool. So let's go now to this. Delete this instance I was talking about with this Dua Lipa song. So if you are Dua Lipa or Dua Lipa's musical director, so let's say that I'm trying to set up the piano instrument rack. So I'm going to make a new MIDI track out of the group. And I'm going to name it Live Keys. If I can type Live Keys Rack. Okay, cool. So now I'll show you this is why I especially like the instrument rack, because if you have things that you've already really created a lot of effects for them, that's going to start to get really, really messy. So you can see each of these is one instrument. So what I'm going to do is start by copying these into my live keys, and then I'm going to group them together. And now I have this instrument rack, and this is my grand piano. I'm going to do the same thing with the vocal chop. So I'm going to just grab this entire thing of effects, go here, and now I can go between the two, and I get all those effects in the same track. And then the same thing with the violin mute thing. Okay, cool. So let's make these different colors. Gotta get those colors. Okay, Dua Lipa is great. That bass is epic. Oh, there's a free analog delay from PreChorus. Oh, also, guys, speaking of free things, there's actually a really, really big giveaway today from 343 Labs, which is what is bringing you this stream. And it is an Ableton. Hang on, I'm going to bring up the exact copy so I don't mess anything up. Okay. Black Friday pre-sale. So you get 45% off of all of our courses and 25% off course bundles. So you just have to go to 343labs.com. And then there's also a regular giveaway, which is a $200 Ableton voucher. That's really good. I want to be in the giveaway. Damn. All right. Let's go. Okay, cool. So let's go back and look at the chain. So this time I'll just do it with smaller values. So I'll drag this out to 3. Oh, no, actually just 2, because I'm going to start with 0. And then I'm going to right click and say distribute ranges equally. So now I have 0, 1 to 1, 2 to 2. Okay, so now if I move this and record enable, and here's my, I want that to be 2 to 2. There we go. Okay, so cool. So now I have those 3 different sounds. But for this one, if you look up here, the grand piano is kind of always involved when one of these others is playing. So for this one, I'm going to actually drag the piano so it plays with all of them. And then the thing I need to do is, or let's go to this one so you can hear. So now the problem is they're playing at the exact same time. So what I want to do now is go to key, and for the vocal chops, I'm going to put those, let's see. So here, all down here will be piano, and these will be vocal chops. You can do like a fancy fade if you want, but for now I'm just gonna, I'll do a fade. And then the same thing with the violin sample. Okay, so now those are all playing at the same time. Woohoo! Oh yeah, Thomas, can you post the link in the chat if you're here? Here I will post it because this is very important. It is 343labs.com, and there's like a prompt. 343labs.com. Cool. All right, so now what I would do in terms of automation for this is I'm just going to really look up here and see what instrument is playing. So I'm going to go into automation mode, and before we get to the pre-chorus, we just have piano, so I'm going to move this to 0. And then this is going to be 1 because this is the vocal chops. This is going to be 3. No, sorry, 2. And if you can, if you don't have to, if you have a little bit of extra space, like do it before, just in case you don't come in right on the 1, like if you come a little bit early. And then at the chorus, we go back to just piano. Okay, cool. So now, depending where I am in this the timeline, it's gonna give me that instrument. Woohoo! Okay, so then the next thing is I'm gonna deactivate everything except these last piano chords, because one thing I like to leave room for in a live show is like just getting away from the instrument or getting away from the computer. I think sometimes you can have a tendency to be like, I need to be doing something all the time, but actually it's so great for the audience for you to like have created this great thing and then be able to step away from it. So maybe this is a time when you want to not have to be playing this, and since you've already sort of like established that it's a part, I don't think it's as obvious that it's in the tracks. So a little loud. they don't need to be up here. I can put them here, and then I don't have to have any of these tracks. Let's just make sure this works. Whoa, loud. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I don't know what is up with this clicking of my tongue that's recently started to happen. It's a bad habit. My bad habits lead to boom. All right, let's then map a different effect to it. Does anyone have something in mind? Maybe something from Sound Toys? Maybe a little Echo Boy? Can never hurt anyone. Let's get... Fine. Let's do Echo Boy. And I'll go back here. Or no, let's actually go... because this sounds kind of good with echo on it. Okay, cool. So this is the vocal chop. And actually, hang on, I need to have it inside. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to map this to its own macro. And deleted it by accident. Hang on. Okay. And we'll just do device on. Okay, Echo Boy device on. And I want to have this on. Maybe we'll have it on for, so actually let me go back to map. We'll just have it on for the vocal chop, which is at, that's 1:1. Okay, and then I could also go in and map my on-off like I did on the other one. And we'll do that to macro 1. I didn't map it I didn't map it to a knob like on my keyboard because I knew I was just going to automate it. But this is good to do because we don't need everything on. Actually, I'm not going to do piano because that always stays on. But I am going to do the vocal chop. And see, now it's letting me copy values to siblings. I wonder what was up with that other one. And let's put this in a group. instrument rack within an instrument rack. Okay. So then we can, wait, did I do all of them? Echo Boy, go. Oh my gosh, guys, we really weighed in. Crystallized Decapitator. I know. I'm trying to like, I need like therapy from Decapitator because I use it on literally everything, and like I need to start like using other things, but it will never happen. Okay, so I'm going to map these. Except, hang on, let me think for a second. I said I wasn't going to do piano, but I will, but I want it to be, I want the piano to always be on. So that's 0 to 2. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if this worked. So when I'm on piano, great, it's on. Then when I get into this vocal chop land, this should be on. And I go back here. Is this on? Okay, good. So this should actually be... there it is. 1 second. Let me just remember what I did here. This is 0 to 2, 1 to 1, 2 to 2. Okay. 0 to 2, 1 to 1, 2 to 2. 1 to 1. Okay, cool. Sweet. So now what I have is a song where, I don't know why my voice went up just so high there. I have a song where, oh, I overrode the automation. See, this is the thing, is like, you don't want to override it by messing around with it. Let me go back to my chain. Okay, so when we go to the all the way up until the first pre-chorus, it's just the piano. Then to the pre-chorus, it is the vocal chop, and then the kind of breakdown section, we get to the violins. And then at the chorus, and when that happens, the Echo Boy initiates itself. And then in the last section with the piano, like, you can step away because these MIDI notes are in, so we're going to take over. All right. And so forth. So guys, the time signatures within the instrument rack, I'm wondering if you're meaning these. Mark Morgan, if you're talking about these in the chain, these aren't actually time signatures. They're just numbers that correspond to like when that instrument is on. Simple Sam's trying to. So you might be talking about something else, in which case, send us a message. A karaoke ticker. But this is like 0 to 2. This is 1 to 1. So when I'm here in the chain selector, this is 0. So my piano is on. This is 1. So my piano and my vocal chops are on. And this is 2. So my piano and my violin is on. So hopefully that's what you were meaning. I know it can be a little, I feel like it's like looks complicated, but yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, guys, I hope that you use this in some of your projects. And it's not just for live. It's great for like building really dense instruments with lots of really cool effects on them. Love it. Hey, los que vivamos. Well, guys, any more questions? How did this go for everyone? It's so good to see you. We're going to see each other again next week before Thanksgiving. If you have any Thanksgiving requests, please let me know. And as always, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for spending some time today with me on here. Super fun to talk about this. And yeah, there's like really, really good giveaways. So go to, if you can, 343labs.com. Check out the $200 Ableton voucher, which I want. You can get a lot with that. That paired with the Black Friday sales. Come on. Some upgrades. But it's awesome to see you guys, and I hope that I will see you guys next week on Monday. And tune in for Tetro Talks tomorrow. All right, you guys, see you soon.